Hello and welcome to English at Fingertips. Today I am back with another video, and in this video I am going to discuss the sonnet Death Be Not Proud. This sonnet has been written by John Donne. It was first published posthumously in 1633 as part of Donne's collection of poems Holy Sonnet. This is the 10th sonnet of Holy Sonnet, therefore it is also known as Holy Sonnet 10. Everyone who takes birth on this earth will surely have to die. There are no two ways about it. Death does not spare anyone, be it a king or a beggar, rich or poor, good or bad. Even the most powerful people on this earth are powerless in this aspect. Death is inevitable. Now, does this make death the most powerful thing? Well, let us read the sonnet and find out what John Donne has to say about this. Death, be not proud, though some have called thee mighty and dreadful, for thou art not so. In the very first line of the sonnet, the speaker makes his stand clear. He tells death, do not be proud, though some have called thee mighty and dreadful, for thou art not so. That is, he tells death that though some people for generations have called thee mighty and dreadful, but it is not so. You are neither mighty nor dreadful. The meaning of the word mighty is powerful, while the meaning of the word dreadful is fearful or terrible. So as we can see, the speaker personifies death and presents it as someone who has lots of pride and arrogance. People over years have considered death as mighty and powerful, but the speaker thinks otherwise. He says that death is neither powerful nor fearful. For those whom thou thinkest thou dost overthrow, die not, poor death, nor yet canst thou kill me. The speaker in this line tells death why he does not consider death as mighty or dreadful. He says that for those whom thou thinkest thou dost overthrow, die not. That is, he tells death that the people whom you think you have already defeated do not actually die. He then goes on to make fun of death by calling it poor death. Thus, from the heights of calling death one of the most powerful thing on this earth, he takes down death to the level where it is rendered as an object of pity. Then he goes on to declare that, nor yet canst thou kill me. That is, you cannot even kill me. So the speaker says that neither death can kill him, nor it can really kill any other person for that matter. To think that death is powerful is nothing but an illusion. From rest and sleep, which but thy pictures be, much pleasure, then from thee much more must flow. Now the speaker describes why death is not a terrible thing. And in order to do so, he compares death to rest and sleep. He says, from rest and sleep, which thy pictures be, much pleasure. That is, we get much pleasure from rest and sleep, which are nothing but a miniature picture of death itself. Then from thee, much more must flow. Then from death, we should get even more pleasure. When a person is dead, it looks as if the person is sleeping. And when we go to sleep, we get much pleasure out of it. On waking up, we feel fresh. So if we get so much pleasure from sleep and rest, which are nothing but pictures of death on a small scale, then we should get much more pleasure when we are actually dead. So this is how the speaker shows that death is not really a terrible thing. On the contrary, death is a thing that can give us pleasure. And soonest our best men with thee do go, rest of their bones and soul's delivery. People always wonder why good men die early. The speaker here brings up this topic and says that, and soonest our best men with thee do go. That is, our best men seem to experience death sooner than others. Now, if we look at death as a reward rather than as a punishment, then that would solve the puzzle. The best men should be rewarded first, while the worst should be punished for a long period of time. If we consider our life on this earth as a punishment and death as a reward, then the best men dying sooner is totally justified. Thus, the best men die sooner to rest their bones and soul's delivery. Death rewards the better men by giving their earthly bodies rest and delivering their souls into the afterlife where there is no pain or suffering. So, here the speaker stresses on the fact that death is not at all a terrible thing, rather, it is a reward, it is a relief. If we consider ourselves as prisoners and the earth as a prison, then it is often seen that the prisoners who have been well behaved are often pardoned earlier than their due time, and thus they get to leave the prison early. So this is how John Donne justifies the fact that it is often seen that good men die quickly and the wicked continue to live on and on. Thou art slave to fate, chance, kings and desperate men, and dost with poison, war and sickness dwell. The speaker in this line humiliates death even further. He tells death, thou art slave. That is, you are nothing but a slave to fate, chance, kings and desperate men. What he means to say is that death has absolutely no control over whose life it takes. Now, who gets to decide whom to kill and whom to spare? It is decided by fate or chance. Chance means some kind of accident. So, our destiny decides if we are going to live or die. Death has got nothing to do with it. Kings can also decide if a person should be killed or allowed to live. He can punish a person by taking his life. He can also decide to take part in a war, thereby killing lots and lots of people in the process. Now the poet uses the word desperate men. By the term desperate men, the speaker here refers to normal people who become so desperate that they decide to take their own lives or the life of someone else. Thus, even normal men can decide whom to kill, but death cannot decide. It is as if these things make the decision and order death to do as they say. Death has no other option but to follow their orders. So the speaker calls death a slave to fate, chance, kings and desperate men. These are the things that control who is going to die. The speaker tells death, and dust with poison, war and sickness dwell. He tells death that you dwell with things like poison, war and sickness. The meaning of the word dwell is to live. So what he means to say is that death has to live with undesirable companions like poison, war and sickness. Death cannot function by itself. It has to take help from poison, war or sickness in order to kill someone. Kings take part in wars and wars kill many people. Desperate people use poison in order to commit suicide or even to kill someone else. Whereas it is by the action of fate or chance that people fall sick and they die. Thus, death has absolutely got no role to play in taking someone's life. So it should not be proud. And poppy or charms can make us sleep as well, and better than thy stroke. Why swellest thou, then? The speaker continues to make fun of death. He says that all death can do is to make us sleep. but poppy or charms can also make us sleep. Now what do you mean by poppy or charms? Poppy is a flower from which opium is made, and opium numbs our pain and makes us sleep. Charms refer to some kind of magic or hypnosis which can make us fall asleep. Then he goes on to say, and better than thy stroke, which means that poppy or charms can give us far better sleep than death can possibly give us. Thus the speaker asks, why swellest thou then? That is, he is asking death, why are you swelling up with pride? You have nothing to be proud of. If simple things like poppy or charms can make us sleep even better, then why should we call death powerful? Death is not at all powerful and it has got nothing to be proud of. One short sleep past, we wake eternally, and death shall be no more. Death, thou shalt die. Death is nothing but a short sleep. It is as if after taking a nap we wake up feeling fresh and raring to hustle again. Thus the speaker says that one short sleep past we wake eternally. That is, death is nothing but a short sleep from which we always wake up, and when we wake up, death shall be no more. Death, thou shalt die. Death, you shall die. In these concluding lines, the speaker touches upon the concept of rebirth. He says that death is a momentary phase only, and when we take birth again, we shall no more be dead. We will have to kill death in order to be born again. And when we get our life back, death itself shall die. By the end of the sonnet, John Donne completely turns the table as he shows that death can never really kill us, but we kill death every time we are born on this planet. So this is how John Donne shows death its real place and proves his point that death has got nothing to be proud of. We should not be afraid of death as we are far more powerful than death can ever be. That brings us to the end of this beautiful poem. If you still have any doubts, you can ask me in the comment section. Keep liking my videos and do not forget to subscribe to my channel. That's it for today. See you in the next video.